Down, down, down. I just wanna keep up, keep up. You're moving so fast without me. Supersonic. Supersonic.
What's going on guys, CasualSavage here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to edit a music video in Vegas Pro 14. Now the reason this video is so long is because I'm going to be showing you 9 different effects you can add to your music video. I'll be showing you stuff with some text, I'll be showing you some general effects, I'll be showing you some transitions, and I'll also be showing you how to make the overall video look a lot better. So the first thing I'm going to be showing you is how to do a glitch or a twitch effect for some text. So the first thing I'm going to do, head over to media generators, I'm going to come all the way down to legacy text, I'm going to drag and drop on the default text, and I'm going to just put in here CasualSavage. Press Ctrl A, you can change the font if you would like to, I'm just going to leave it the same for now, and I'm going to put the size it down to about 50. The next thing I'm going to do is head over to video effects, and from video effects you want to select linear blur, and what we're going to add on is the default, so drag and drop it on. Now the next thing we want to do is animate both of them like so, so pressing these buttons will bring up this. Now you choose, do you want this to start right at the start of the text, or maybe you can see down here is the timeline, maybe at 1 second, so this would be 1 second, and I'm going to do it here for now. So what we're going to do is zoom in. So all I'm going to do is lay down a keyframe like so. Same for the amount as well, lay down a keyframe like that. Then we're going to come across a couple of frames. Now I'm going to come across 3 frames, so 1, 2 and 3. I'm going to lay down a keyframe again, and then I'm going to come across another 3. 1, 2, 3. Lay down a keyframe. Now the 2 ends, we're not going to be using them. It's the middle one we're going to be using to make this effect. First of all, we're going to change the angle to 0.180, and we're going to bring up the amount, which is completely optional. So I'll have mine here. So that's how I'm going to have it, and believe it or not, we're done. So I'm going to play it through. At 1 second, this effect will work. So that's what it's going to look like. Now, if I was to come back to the effects and we delete that first frame and we bring these to the start, like so, you can imagine that's how the text will appear on the music video. So it'll start off like that. Now, the next thing I'm going to be showing you is a typewriter effect. So for this, we're going to head over to media generators and we're going to come down to legacy text and add on the default text. Just drag and drop it on like so. Now come here, remove all of this and just put out a word maybe, press Ctrl A, choose the size that you want, and I'm going to go with 45. Then you can come down here, choose the font that you like, choose if you want it bold, come over to properties, choose the text color, come over to effects, add an outline or a shadow, whatever you want to. And then once you've done that, simply remove the text like that. Now what we're going to do is add this line in like so. And this can be a bit tricky for some. It's going to be a bit time consuming, but pay attention and it's going to be very simple. So first of all, select the animate button down here. And now every 10 frames, what we're going to do is remove this. So I'm going to come across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you can see down here, it tells us that is 10 frames. We're simply going to remove it like that. Now I'm going to do this all the way up to 2 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to simply put it back in like that. Then again, last time before I speed everything up, I'm going to remove it like that. To make it quicker, now I have 4 frames, I'm going to hold shift and select all of them, press Ctrl C. I'm going to come across 10 frames again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Press Ctrl V, they're all pasted in, but in the wrong area. So what we need to do is come across to 30 or 1 second, and this is where I need them to start. And there we go. So that is now in line, and this is the starting point. This is what we have. If I just play it through, you can see it's blinking like that, ready to type. Now, just double check that you were correct. So you can see it's on here, it's off here, is on here. It should be off here, so we'll remove that. Then it should be on here, so you can see there we go, there's a mistake. Make sure you pay attention and go back. This is where it should be off, and this is where it should be on. And I'm going to go across 10 more frames so it goes off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and remove it. Now we're ready to begin, and what we're going to be doing now is going across 5 frames. So you should know your 5s. If you don't, I'm concerned, but yeah. So we're on 10, we're going to come across 15. So 15, and I'm going to put down the first letter, and the word the words I'm going to be spelling out is music video. So first is going to be the M. I'm going to come across 5 again. Next is U. 5 again, and it's S. 5 again, and it's I. 5 again, and it's going to be C. So this is what I have created. Just like that. And what I'm going to do now, because I'm pretty sure you understand how to do it, I'm going to speed everything up while I finish off. Okay, there we go. This is what I have just created. This is now complete. Just like that. Now, if you want to add a pause, so maybe after music, there's going to be maybe a bit of a pause, and then video coming after, come back to this here, and you can see video, or the V, starts here. So I'm going to highlight all these frames, and all we need to do is simply drag it across. And now you'll see there'll be a bit of a delay for video to come in. Just like that. Okay, so now I'll be showing you a glitch effect. Now you can use this in a transition style, or you can just do a random glitch. So you can see I have 2 clips here, one with someone driving in the desert and one of a canyon. Now what I'm going to do is come back 6 keyframes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, S on my keyboard. I'm then going to come to the next clip and come across 6 keyframes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, S on my keyboard. Now we're going to right click and duplicate track, and that's what we need to do so it'll look like this. We'll have 2 of the same tracks. Now zooming in, we're going to be working with this first clip here. We're going to come over to the event pattern crop. And what we're going to do, make sure on the first frame, select the masking tool, select the rectangle tool, and all we're going to do is draw out these boxes like so. Now you don't need to be accurate in any way, there's no specific size you need to do, simply just draw out some boxes. Just like that, I'm finished. Now come up to the top and select the position button. Now make sure move freely is on, and we're going to come across 1 frame and simply move it freely. You can see the glitch is happening, and these lines are here, but we will be fixing that after. Then come across another frame, right click, restore. Come across another frame, maybe move it up. Next frame, right click, restore. Next frame, move it down maybe. And then next frame is right click and restore. So this first video is done. That's what it'll look like. Now on this first video we need this same mask just to save us time. So we're going to select it here, make sure we are selecting the mask, press Ctrl C, come across to the next video. And then on the masking, make sure that it's enabled, press Ctrl V, and you can see these lines will now appear. Now for the option or the position, first frame stays the same. Next frame, move it up maybe. Next frame, move it left. Next frame, restoring it. Next frame, I'll probably put it to the right up here. Next frame, right click, restore. Next frame, I'll just pull it down. Now that is what we have, so I'm going to play this through for you. You can see that's what it'll do. It's a little glitch like that. So now we need to get rid of these lines here. You can see they're showing on the screen, and that's what we don't want. So to fix that, we're going to come over to the track motion. Now remove sync cursor so it's not checked, and then simply come to the start of the track motion and size this up like that. There we go. You can X out of this, and now I also recommend deleting these videos that are not using as the glitch, so delete them. So we have the original files underneath, and then we're going to press play, and you can see that's what it looks like. It already looks a lot better, just like that. So now I'm going to be showing you how to do a fast flicker with the clip right now. Now if you're wondering what the song I'm using, it's this one right here, and let's just play through and see what we have.
Supersonic.
So that's what we have, and you'll notice I've already split the clip. Now I've split it to the part where the tambos, I think it is, starts to go faster. So play it through. Just like that. And each time we hear that, that's where we're going to add a black flash. So just like that. And it's already laid out for us, so you can see this part right here, the audio wave is a bit different compared to the other ones. So I'm going to press M on my keyboard to lay down a marker. This is another one, so if we play it through, you can see right there. And I'm going to go across, and I'm going to just keep pressing M on my keyboard every time I see one. And this will make the flicker part much easier. Now the flickers also speed up, so let's play through. Which is right here. And you can see the audio wave is telling us right here, this is where it is. So let's just see if we are correct. There we go. And now at this point right here, you can see that is way too fast to even lay down a marker. So what I'm going to do is skip laying down markers to where this part is, but I'm going to lay down a marker where I'm going to end the flicker, which is right there. So I'm going to press M on my keyboard. Now we'll sort this part out and it will still look good and it will still match in. So what we're going to do is right click, insert another video track so it's above. And now what we're going to do is head over to media generators. From media generators, we're going to select solid color. From solid color, we can select black. Well, in fact, you can select any color you want. What color do you want the flash? Of course, most flashes are usually black. So I'm going to pick black, but by all means, you can pick any color you would like. I'm going to drag and drop this on like so. Now this flicker right now, I'm going to make it last 3 frames. So 1, 2, 3, and press S on my keyboard and delete. And all I'm going to do is press Ctrl C, and I'm simply going to paste it in each time here. Now, before I paste it again, you can see the markers are getting closer in. So with that being said, I'm going to paste it, but I'm also going to bring back 1 frame. So now this flicker is now only 2 frames, so 1, 2, and these ones before were 3, just like that. So I'm going to press this one, press Ctrl C, and paste it in each marker here. This is why laying down markers makes the job much easier. So how do we counter this part where it's really fast and we can't lay down markers? Well, first of all, it's now going to be 1 frame. And I'm going to press Ctrl C, and what we're going to do is do this every 4 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, in fact, we're going to do this every 3 frames. So 1, 2, 3, press Ctrl V, OK. 1, 2, 3, press Ctrl V, OK. Now I'm actually going to make it a bit quicker, so 1, 2 instead. I'll use them frames, so 2 frames apart. So this is what I've done. You can see it starts off big and it goes smaller and smaller. So let's play it through and let's see how it looks. This is the first time I'm also looking at it as well. And that fits in quite well. You can definitely see there, when they are thicker, it is on screen longer because it's only 1 hit. But as the tambos, I'm just going to call them tambos, I'm not sure if it is tambos, but as that is speeding up, the size of the black flickers are going smaller, and you can see as soon as we get to the part where they're just going crazy, we are now at a 2 frame gap along with 1 frame flickers. So one more time, play it through.
Supersonic.
So the next thing I'm going to be covering is a spin transition. So there are no plugins required for this, and it's actually quite quick to do. So again, clips side by side, and I'm going to come back on this left click here by 6 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to press S on my keyboard to split. Then I'm going to come to the right clip and come across 6 keyframes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, S on my keyboard again. And now we have these 2 clips, which we will be working with. So first, the one on the left, we're going to come to the event pan and crop. So what we're going to do on position, we're going to have sync cursor checked, and we're going to come across 3 frames. So 1, 2, 3. And we're simply going to rotate it just a little bit like so. Now we have these black bars, so we are going to have to zoom into our video as well. So there's no black bars. Then we're going to come across to the end, and now we're going to turn it full 90 degrees. Now you know you can be accurate when you see over here the rotation, the angle is -90. You can also come here and just type it in to be even more accurate. Now we're not done just yet, because we're going to come across the frames. And you can see already there's black bars, and we simply just need to zoom in. And we just need to go across the frames to make sure we didn't do any more black bars. So you can see that's all good. So playing it through very quickly, that's what that first part looks like. Now pay attention to the F. You can see it is facing, or the top of the F is on this side. So with that being said, onto the next clip, we need the F facing the other side. Again, just come here, type it in, 90 degrees this time, not -90. We need to zoom in so there's no black bars. Come across 3 keyframes, so 1, 2, 3. Rotate it just a little bit, not too much yet. Then we're going to come across to the end, and we're going to right click and restore. Now we're going to go across the frames, make sure we don't have any black bars. It looks good for this one. Oh, nope, there we go. So there's a black bar, we're going to zoom in. Another black bar's up here, zoom in again. And then we're back to normal. So this is what we have. So that's it, basically done, but now we're going to add one more effect to make it look better. So we're going to head over to video effects, and from video effects you want to select defocus. If you don't see it, then come to view, Windows layout, and select default layout. Now I'm going to be adding on the default onto the first clip. Now we're going to be using the radius, so I'm going to select the animation button. I'm going to drag this first frame to the end. On the very first frame, what we want to do is have the radius set to 0. And we're done for this part. We're then going to add on the default onto the next clip. We're going to select the radius animation, and this first frame is going to stay at 56 or 5.6, and we're going to come across the end, and now we're going to set the radius to 0. So now that is the spin transition complete. So I'm going to play this through for you, and this is what we have. Just like that, and it will come across in frames, so you can see it's spinning and defocused, and then goes back into focus just like that. That's simple. Now I'm going to be showing you a zoom transition. Now this can be a zoom in transition or a zoom out transition. So I've got this clip here, and you can see it's going through some terrain like that, and then it goes to the Statue of Liberty, a drone shot like so. So we're going to do this very simply. First of all, we're going to zoom into this left side of the video, and we're going to come back 5 keyframes. So we're going to press the left arrow on our keyboard, or we can come here and select this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now right here, I'm going to press S on my keyboard to split it. I'm going to come over to the next clip, which is this one. I'm going to come over 5 frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. S on my keyboard to split it again. Now we have these 2 things here, and this is what we're going to be working with. So the first one here, we're going to come to the event pattern crop. Now what we want to do is make sure sync cursor is checked. On the very first frame, it's going to stay how it is, but then we're going to come across to the end, and we're simply going to zoom in like so. Now it's very important that you do have size about center and lock aspect ratio checks when doing this, so then when you zoom in, everything stays in proportion like that. So I'm going to zoom in up to here. Now we come back to the event pattern crop on the next clip, which is the Statue of Liberty. So we're finishing off the zoom, we come to the end, or the last frame here, and then we're going to zoom in just a little bit, just like this. And now we can X out of it, and this is what we have. You can see that's what it does. So if I play through with frames, you can see it's going to zoom in, and then it's going to finish the zoom there. Now you can see that the footage is kind of messed up here. So all we have to do is zoom in, press the event pattern crop, press Ctrl C on this last frame, come to this next clip here, event pattern crop, and then press Ctrl V to paste in this frame there. So now this is what it looks like. You can see it looks much more smoother. Now there's a reason why I've done this splitting here, and it's because we're not actually done yet, and it's going to make everything easier now we've already done this split. So we're going to head over to video effects, and from video effects you want to come over to radial blur. If you don't see video effects, then come to view, Windows layout, and select default layout. Now from here, I recommend adding on intent fixed radius. So I'm going to drag and drop this onto the first clip. Now from here, toggle the animation on strength by selecting this button. And this first keyframe here, we're going to drag this to the end. And now there's no frame at the start, and that's when we're going to turn the strength to 0. And you can see this frame has now been laid down. So now we're going to add on the intense fixed radius to the next clip up here, which is the Statue of Liberty. We're going to toggle the animation, and this time the first frame is going to stay how it is, but the last frame, we're going to change it to 0. So I'm going to X out of this, and this is now the final thing complete. Just like that. So I'll play it through by frames, it's going to zoom in, just like that. Now, if you want it to be zooming out instead of zooming in, then let's reset everything we have just done. Just the frames, so we can delete these two here. Okay, so this time, on the first clip, you're going to come to the event pad and crop. And we need to be zoomed in just a little bit like so. Then press Ctrl C to copy this frame. Come to the middle clip, event pad and crop, and press Ctrl V right there. Then come across to the end, right click and select restore. So that portion is now done, or the left side is now done. Now we come over to the next clip, event pad and crop, and this time what we need to do is again press Ctrl V to paste in that zoomed in frame. We're going to come across to the end and we're going to right click and restore. So this is now created a zoom out transition like that. So if I play through with frames, you can see we are zooming out just like that. And of course it's the exact same steps with the radial blur. You can see I kept it from the last time where I just showed you how to do the zoom in. You keep it the exact same. So the first one, the first frame starts at 0 and then it comes all the way up. And then I recommend the default at 0.800, but of course you can play around with that if you want to. And then the next one for the radial blur, it starts at the highest point, which is 0.800 in my case. And then the last frame is 0. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to be showing you is overlays. Now, overlays are used quite a lot, and they're very simple to use and they're very simple to add, and you can download them from YouTube. This right here is an overlay pack I have downloaded from YouTube. You can see it was in a RAW. It's called Top 20 Overlays, and there's a bunch of different overlays we can use to put on top of the video. So for example, I'm going to use this one, and all we need to do is drag this into Sony Vegas and drag it above like so. Now, this is how it will look. We can't see our video, so to fix that, we come over to the side and we change this to add. Now you'll see, if I just mute this track so you can see the original video, this is what it looks like. It's just the moon moving like so. And if I unmute it, this is now what it looks like. Just like that. Now, the opacity is quite heavy. You can always adjust it by coming here and dragging it down. Alternatively, you can come over to the side and use a slider here. So this is at 43% opacity, and I'm going to play this through for you. And this is now what it looks like. Now what you can do is fade it in, and then you can also add a nice fade out. So then it will look like this. The original video will be there, and then this will fade in, and it'll also fade out. So then it goes back to what the original video looked like. You can be creative with these. You can even use overlays and create a transition with them. Now this one is the Scribble effect. Now you might have seen this in recent music videos, and basically it's when there's maybe an outline of the person, maybe an X on their eyes, and it goes through the entire scene. Now this is Luke Christopher, The Waiting Game. It's a non-copyrighted rap song, so if anyone wants to know that, this is it right here. And I did show this tutorial separately a couple weeks ago, and I actually made a mistake. I told you to screenshot frame by frame, which is very time consuming. A way to get all the screenshots quickly is simply by setting this to best and full, and then coming up to render as, and then come up to image sequence and then render it as a JPEG or a PNG. Now I also recommend coming to the output folder and browsing where to save it. So I've picked a folder and I'm going to select render. It's going to be super quick because it's just images, and this is the folder. So you can see we have all the images, or each frame one by one in that area we have just rendered. So that's why I said make sure you pick a folder, because this is how it will turn out. Now from there, what you're going to do is open up Paint. Alternatively, if you do have Photoshop, you can use Photoshop. It will be better if you have Photoshop, because then you can just flick through layer by layer. But what we're going to do is add on the first image. Now, something important to note, make sure you go in order. So how you know you're in order, you can see 0, then it goes 1, 2, 3, and just follow this exact order. So I'm dragging on image 0 and this is what it looks like, and I'm going to choose a brush and I'm going to make sure it's this one here because I think it looks better, and the color I'll go with the white, and I'm simply going to draw around him like so. And then for the eyes, of course, you can add an X just like that. That is number 1 done, and then from there you come to File, Save As, and again you can pick a JPEG or a PNG, completely optional. Now I recommend creating another folder and you can call this one Images Official, and then to keep this in order I'm just going to call this number 1. Then what we do is drag on the second image, and now we need to do the exact same effect again. Now this time I'm going to change the color to a dark grey, and I'm going to do the exact same thing just like this. So that's done. File, Save As, JPEG, and I'm going to call this 2. Okay, so you can see that is now 10 frames completed. So we head back over to Vegas, and this is where we line everything back up. So right click, insert a new video track. Now over on my second monitor, I'm going to drag in my 10 images I just created. Now remember, these are frame by frame, which means we need to make these 1 frame long. So we're going to come across 1, S, delete the remaining. Next image comes in, 1 frame, S, delete. And then we just go on like this until we are finished. So I'm just going to size everything down to make this a bit quicker. So here are the last 5, and we're going to drag it in and sync it up. Remember, this is 10 frames. Usually you would have to do the whole way, but I'm just doing the 10 to show you as an example. I'm going to play it through, and this is what we have. You can see just like that. So I'll play it through by frames, just like that. And you can see I did put it in different colors each time. That's just what I've done, but it's completely optional how you make it look. So there we go. And you can imagine if it was lasting a bit longer, it would look a lot better. So the final thing I'm going to be showing you is black bars for cinematic purposes, of course, and color correction. Now for black bars, you can see this video already has it, but the black bars are kind of all over the place. Not too sure why they done it like that. But anyway, let's just say the video is normal and you want to add black bars. I'll link something in the description where you simply just have to drag and drop, and you can see the black bars will be there just like that. Now for color correction, we're going to head over to video effects, and let's see. What we can first do is come down to color corrector, and we're going to add on the default onto the video. Now this part is all personal preference. Some people like a blue shade for music videos, some people prefer a yellow shade. So this part is optional. I'm going to go more of an orange yellow like that. And same for the mids, I'm going to go a bit more orange yellow. And that is how I will leave everything for now. Next I'm going to do is color curves, and I'm going to add on the default onto the video again. And this time I'm going to bring this up like so and stretch it out, and I'm going to bring this down like that. Now I'm going to leave it like that. I don't want to play around with it too much because then it can get messed up. But the next thing I'm going to do is add on some brightness and contrast, which is right here. I'm going to add on the default, and I'm going to bring up, oh actually I'm going to bring down, I'll actually leave the brightness where it is, but I'm going to bring up the contrast like that, just by 1. And some cases I would usually turn down the brightness, but you can see it's too dark like that. So I'm going to leave it there. And the final thing, I think there'll be one final thing. Actually 2 more things I'm going to be adding. I'm going to be adding sharpen, add on the default. And again, this just makes the video look sharper. And then I'm also going to be adding on white balance. Drag and drop the default on. And then for the brightness, I'm going to turn it down just a little bit like that. So that is now complete in terms of color correcting. And to me, it looks much better. So pay attention to the video. This is what it's like without the white balance. This is what it's like without the sharpen. This is what it's like without brightness and contrast. This is what it's like without color curves. And this is what it's like without color corrector. You can see it's more of a flat image, but adding everything back on, it makes it more vibrant and everything's more sharp. Just like that. So you can see the video now looks a lot more better. And of course, when color correcting, it's all personal preference. You play around with it and you choose how you want it to look. But that's it for this tutorial. I know it's been a long tutorial, but hopefully it's been useful for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, rate, and peace.